Heart disease, a leading cause of death worldwide characterized by cardiovascular complications and reduced cardiac function, affects millions of individuals globally. As medical knowledge expands, the role of lifestyle habits in managing heart health has gained prominence. Beyond medical interventions, making informed lifestyle choices can play a pivotal role in preventing cardiovascular disease, enhancing heart function, and improving the overall quality of life for those seeking optimal cardiac wellness. This video delves into 8 specific habits that individuals wanting a healthy heart might want to consider breaking or eliminating from their daily routines. Each of these habits has the potential to influence cardiovascular inflammation, arterial health, and the overall progression of heart disease. By understanding the underlying mechanisms and effects of these habits, individuals can make empowered choices to support their heart health journey. From the impact of sedentary behavior and chronic stress on cardiovascular function to the relationship between smoking and arterial damage, we will uncover the intricate connections between daily habits and heart health. Delving into the consequences of maintaining poor sleep patterns, excessive salt intake, ignoring stress management, chronic dehydration, and skipping regular exercise will shed light on how lifestyle decisions can either damage or protect cardiovascular health. Furthermore, we will explore the role of unhealthy coping mechanisms in heart disease and the significance of making mindful lifestyle choices. Each section will provide insights into the mechanisms through which these habits can affect heart health, along with suggestions for alternative behaviors and strategies to promote cardiovascular wellness through a comprehensive understanding of these lifestyle considerations. Individuals can take proactive steps to prevent heart disease and enhance their overall well-being. While every person's response to specific lifestyle changes may vary, being informed empowers individuals to make choices that contribute to a healthier, more vibrant cardiovascular system while living an active, fulfilling life. All right, let's dive in and equip ourselves with the knowledge to make the right choices for our heart health journey. Are you ready? Let's go. 1. Sedentary lifestyle. The impact of lifestyle habits on heart health management is a topic of growing interest among healthcare professionals and individuals seeking cardiovascular wellness. A sedentary lifestyle, often deemed unavoidable in modern society but cardiovascularly destructive, has come under scrutiny due to its potential to accelerate heart disease progression. Living a sedentary life characterized by prolonged periods of sitting and minimal physical activity creates a cascade of cardiovascular problems. When we remain inactive for extended periods, our heart muscle weakens, blood circulation decreases, and our body's ability to process fats and sugars becomes impaired. This leads to increased risk of atherosclerosis, high blood pressure, and elevated cholesterol levels. Desk jobs, binge-watching television, excessive gaming, and car-dependent transportation are some of the common culprits contributing to sedentary behavior. The lack of regular movement causes our cardiovascular system to become deconditioned, similar to how unused muscles atrophy over time. Extended sitting triggers inflammatory responses within the body and promotes the formation of blood clots. Additionally, sedentary behavior leads to weight gain, placing additional strain on the heart and amplifying cardiovascular risk factors. The reduced muscle activity also decreases the body's ability to regulate blood sugar and process dietary fats effectively. The individuals seeking heart health are encouraged to break up prolonged sitting with regular movement breaks. Incorporating walking meetings, standing desks, taking stairs instead of elevators, and engaging in regular cardiovascular exercise can provide essential heart-strengthening benefits. Even short 5-minute movement breaks every hour can significantly improve cardiovascular function. By choosing to combat sedentary habits and embracing an active lifestyle, individuals can take proactive steps towards strengthening their heart and improving their overall cardiovascular wellness. 2. Chronic stress. The relationship between chronic stress and heart health reveals a concerning factor in cardiovascular disease development. Chronic stress, often overlooked as a serious health threat, can wield a significant impact on heart function and arterial health. Persistent psychological and emotional stress contributes to elevated cortisol levels and systemic inflammation, which can accelerate heart disease progression. Work pressure, financial worries, relationship conflicts, and information overload are some of the common culprits in the chronic stress category. The persistent activation of the body's stress response leads to sustained elevation in heart rate and blood pressure, placing continuous strain on cardiovascular structures. Cortisol, the primary stress hormone, has been associated with chronic inflammation and insulin resistance. These conditions not only affect heart health directly, but also increase the risk of developing diabetes and metabolic syndrome. Moreover, chronic stress can lead to unhealthy coping behaviors like overeating, smoking, or excessive alcohol consumption, potentially exacerbating cardiovascular risk factors. The fight-or-flight response, when chronically activated, causes blood vessels to constrict and increases the likelihood of arterial damage. This persistent state of physiological arousal can contribute to the development of atherosclerosis and increase the risk of heart attacks and strokes. Recognizing the detrimental effects of chronic stress, individuals seeking heart health are advised to develop effective stress management strategies. Meditation, deep breathing exercises, regular physical activity, and adequate sleep can help regulate stress hormone levels. Professional counseling or therapy may also be beneficial for addressing underlying stress triggers. By reducing chronic stress through healthy coping mechanisms, heart-conscious individuals can proactively protect their cardiovascular system, maintain healthier blood pressure levels, and improve their overall cardiac well-being. 3. Smoking and tobacco use. Smoking and tobacco use represent one of the most significant threats to cardiovascular health. These habits, while providing temporary stress relief or social connection, pose an enormous challenge for individuals seeking heart wellness. The toxic compounds in tobacco products directly damage blood vessels and accelerate the development of heart disease. When tobacco is consumed, whether through cigarettes, cigars, chewing tobacco, or vaping devices, it introduces harmful chemicals into the bloodstream. Nicotine causes blood vessels to constrict and increases heart rate, while carbon monoxide reduces the blood's oxygen-carrying capacity. These effects force the heart to work harder to pump blood throughout the body. Cigarettes, e-cigarettes, cigars, and smokeless tobacco products are the primary sources of cardiovascular damage. The chemicals in tobacco smoke promote the formation of arterial plaque, increase blood clotting risk, and contribute to irregular heart rhythms. The tar and numerous carcinogens in tobacco products trigger inflammatory responses and oxidative stress within the cardiovascular system. These processes accelerate atherosclerosis and increase the likelihood of blood clots forming in coronary arteries. Additionally, smoking reduces HDL, good cholesterol levels, while increasing the stickiness of blood platelets. Furthermore, tobacco use can lead to peripheral artery disease, stroke, and aneurysms. The combination of reduced oxygen delivery and increased cardiovascular workload creates a perfect storm for heart attacks and other cardiac emergencies. To support heart health, individuals are strongly encouraged to quit all forms of tobacco use immediately. Nicotine replacement therapy, prescription medications, counseling services, and support groups can provide essential assistance during the quitting process. The cardiovascular benefits of quitting begin within hours and continue to improve over time. Choosing to eliminate tobacco use represents one of the most impactful decisions individuals can make for their heart health journey. 4. Poor sleep habits. The relationship between sleep quality and cardiovascular health has garnered significant attention as researchers uncover the vital connections between rest and heart function. Poor sleep habits, while often dismissed as merely feeling tired, can have profound impacts on cardiovascular wellness and heart disease risk. Inadequate sleep duration, irregular sleep schedules, poor sleep quality, and sleep disorders create a cascade of cardiovascular problems. When we don't get sufficient restorative sleep, our body's ability to regulate blood pressure, process glucose, and manage stress hormones becomes compromised. Chronic sleep deprivation, frequent all-nighters, irregular bedtimes, and untreated sleep apnea are common contributors to cardiovascular stress. Less than 7 hours of sleep per night has been consistently linked to increased heart disease risk and elevated blood pressure. During sleep, our cardiovascular system undergoes important repair and recovery processes. Poor sleep disrupts these natural healing mechanisms and leads to increased inflammation markers in the blood. Sleep deprivation also affects hormones that regulate hunger and metabolism, often leading to weight gain and increased diabetes risk. Furthermore, inadequate sleep impairs the body's ability to regulate stress hormones like cortisol, creating a chronic state of physiological arousal that strains the heart. Sleep disorders like sleep apnea cause repeated drops in blood oxygen levels, forcing the heart to work harder throughout the night. Individuals committed to heart health should prioritize establishing consistent sleep schedules and creating optimal sleep environments. Maintaining regular bedtimes, limiting screen time before bed, keeping bedrooms cool and dark, and addressing any sleep disorders can significantly improve cardiovascular outcomes. By prioritizing quality sleep and addressing sleep issues, individuals can support their heart's natural recovery processes and reduce their overall cardiovascular disease risk. 5. Excessive salt intake. The impact of excessive salt consumption on cardiovascular health has become a focal point in discussions about heart disease prevention. High sodium intake, prevalent in modern diets through processed foods and restaurant meals, directly contributes to elevated blood pressure and increased cardiovascular strain. Excessive salt consumption forces the body to retain excess fluid to dilute the sodium concentration in the bloodstream. This increased fluid volume requires the heart to pump harder to circulate blood throughout the body, leading to elevated blood pressure and increased workload on cardiovascular structures. Processed foods, restaurant meals, canned soups, and packaged snacks are primary sources of hidden sodium in our diets. Many people consume double or triple the recommended daily sodium intake without realizing it, as salt is often hidden in unexpected foods like bread, breakfast cereals, and condiments. The sustained elevation in blood pressure caused by high sodium intake accelerates the development of atherosclerosis and increases the risk of heart attacks and strokes. Excessive salt also contributes to left ventricular hypertrophy, where the heart muscle thickens in response to working against higher pressure. Additionally, high sodium intake can impair the function of blood vessels, reducing their ability to dilate properly and maintain healthy blood flow. This endothelial dysfunction is an early marker of cardiovascular disease and increases the risk of future cardiac events. To support cardiovascular wellness, individuals should aim to reduce sodium intake to recommended levels. Reading food labels carefully, cooking more meals at home, using herbs and spices for flavoring instead of salt, and choosing fresh, unprocessed foods can significantly reduce sodium consumption. Making conscious efforts to limit salt intake can lead to measurable improvements in blood pressure, reduced cardiovascular strain, and better overall heart health outcomes. 6. Ignoring stress management. The habit of ignoring stress management represents a silent threat to cardiovascular health that many individuals overlook until serious problems develop. Failing to address chronic stress and emotional turbulence can have devastating effects on heart function and overall cardiovascular wellness. When stress management is neglected, the body remains in a constant state of physiological arousal. This chronic activation of stress response systems leads to persistently elevated cortisol levels, increased inflammation, and sustained high blood pressure that damages arterial walls over time. Suppressing emotions, avoiding difficult conversations, overcommitting to responsibilities, and refusing to seek help during challenging times are common ways people ignore their stress management needs. This avoidance often leads to stress accumulation that eventually overwhelms the cardiovascular system. The physiological impact of unmanaged stress includes increased production of stress hormones that promote inflammation and interfere with normal heart rhythm. Chronic stress also leads to behaviors that further damage cardiovascular health, such as emotional eating, sleep disruption, and neglecting physical activity. Furthermore, ignored stress often manifests as physical tension, headaches, and digestive issues, creating additional strain on body systems. The interconnected nature of stress and physical health means that emotional neglect inevitably impacts cardiovascular function. Individuals committed to heart health must prioritize developing effective stress management strategies. Regular meditation practice, journaling, therapy sessions, social support networks, and relaxation techniques can help process and release accumulated stress. Learning to set boundaries and say no to excessive commitments is equally important. By acknowledging the importance of stress management and actively working to address emotional challenges, individuals can protect their cardiovascular system from the damaging effects of chronic stress and promote long-term heart health. 7. Chronic dehydration. The impact of chronic dehydration on cardiovascular health is an often overlooked factor that can significantly strain the heart and circulatory system. Maintaining inadequate fluid intake forces the cardiovascular system to work harder to maintain proper blood circulation and organ function. When the body lacks sufficient water, blood volume decreases and blood becomes more concentrated, making it thicker and harder for the heart to pump efficiently. This increased viscosity requires greater cardiac effort and can lead to elevated heart rate and blood pressure as the cardiovascular system compensates for reduced fluid levels. Insufficient water intake, excessive caffeine consumption, alcohol consumption, and relying on sugary beverages instead of water are common contributors to chronic dehydration. Many people mistake thirst for hunger or ignore early dehydration signals until symptoms become severe. Dehydration affects the body's ability to regulate temperature and maintain proper electrolyte balance, both crucial for optimal heart function. When fluid levels are low, the heart must work harder to deliver oxygen and nutrients to tissues throughout the body, creating unnecessary cardiovascular stress. Additionally, chronic dehydration can contribute to the formation of kidney stones and urinary tract infections, conditions that can indirectly stress the cardiovascular system. Inadequate hydration also impairs the body's natural detoxification processes, allowing harmful substances to accumulate in the bloodstream. The reduced blood volume associated with dehydration can also affect blood pressure regulation, potentially causing dangerous fluctuations that strain arterial walls and increase the risk of cardiovascular events. To support optimal heart function, individuals should prioritize consistent hydration throughout the day. Drinking water regularly, monitoring urine color as a hydration indicator, reducing caffeine and alcohol intake, and consuming water-rich foods can help maintain proper fluid balance. By maintaining adequate hydration levels, individuals can reduce unnecessary strain on their cardiovascular system and support optimal heart function throughout their daily activities. 8. Skipping regular exercise. The habit of avoiding or inconsistently engaging in physical exercise represents one of the most detrimental behaviors for cardiovascular health. Regular physical activity is essential for maintaining heart strength, improving circulation, and preventing the development of cardiovascular disease. When exercise is neglected, the heart muscle becomes deconditioned, similar to any other muscle that isn't regularly challenged. This deconditioning leads to reduced cardiac efficiency, meaning the heart must work harder to pump the same amount of blood, resulting in higher resting heart rate and elevated blood pressure. Making excuses about time constraints, avoiding gym memberships, choosing elevators over stairs, and prioritizing sedentary entertainment over physical activity are common ways people avoid exercise. The accumulation of these choices over time significantly impacts cardiovascular fitness and overall heart health. Lack of regular exercise contributes to poor circulation, reduced cardiovascular endurance, and increased risk of developing metabolic syndrome. Physical inactivity also leads to muscle loss, decreased bone density, and reduced insulin sensitivity, all of which indirectly affect cardiovascular health. Furthermore, avoiding exercise often correlates with other unhealthy habits like poor dietary choices, inadequate sleep, and increased stress levels. This combination of negative lifestyle factors creates a synergistic effect that dramatically increases cardiovascular disease risk. The absence of regular physical activity also prevents the cardiovascular system from experiencing the beneficial adaptations that occur with exercise, such as improved arterial flexibility, enhanced oxygen delivery, and better blood pressure regulation. Individuals serious about heart health must prioritize incorporating regular cardiovascular exercise into their routines. Starting with simple activities like brisk walking, taking stairs, parking farther away, and gradually increasing intensity can provide significant cardiovascular benefits. Aim for at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity exercise per week. By committing to regular physical activity and breaking the habit of exercise avoidance, individuals can strengthen their heart muscle, improve circulation, and dramatically reduce their risk of cardiovascular disease. In this video, we've delved into the crucial relationship between daily habits and heart health management. Understanding how our lifestyle choices impact cardiovascular wellness can be a game changer for individuals seeking optimal heart function and longevity. We've explored a range of habits that can either accelerate heart disease progression or provide protective benefits, offering insights into creating a lifestyle that supports cardiovascular well-being. From sedentary behavior to chronic stress, we've uncovered the potential culprits that can contribute to heart disease. These habits often involve neglecting physical activity, ignoring stress management, and making choices that trigger inflammation and strain the cardiovascular system. By recognizing their effects, we're better equipped to make conscious decisions about how we live our daily lives. But it's not all about breaking harmful habits. It's about embracing alternatives that nurture our hearts. We've discussed incorporating heart-healthy behaviors like regular exercise, stress management techniques, adequate sleep, and proper hydration, which can provide essential cardiovascular protection and support optimal heart function. Throughout the video, we've stressed the importance of consistency and commitment. While certain habits might contribute to heart disease, they can be successfully modified with dedication and the right strategies. Remember, knowledge is power. By understanding the connections between lifestyle habits and heart health, we can take proactive steps towards prevention and better cardiovascular wellness. So whether you're currently dealing with heart concerns or simply seeking to enhance your cardiovascular health, the choices you make in your daily routine can pave the way for a stronger, healthier heart and a more fulfilling life. Thank you for joining us on this journey of nurturing our hearts and taking control of our cardiovascular health. Stay tuned for more insightful content. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up if you found this video valuable. Until next time, let's continue to strengthen our hearts together.